I just picked up all these Game Boy Advance games and I can't tell if they're real. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today I picked up 14 Game Boy Advance games, but I cannot tell if they're real and I need somebody to help me with this. So if you know anything about Game Boy Advance games in the PAL region, have a watch and tell me what you think. So firstly, we picked this all up for £50, so that's £3.50 roughly per game. So there are no mega titles in this bundle, they're all pretty standard games. So the seller had this up on Facebook, and now when I say he's got a lot, he's got tons, and a lot of them are duplicates, so he's got tons of the same game, so it's really weird. So look at this Shrek game, for example. Look how shiny the box is. This isn't the same as the majority of Game Boy Advance games that I've seen. Look at this one, for example, absolutely no shine on it. So I didn't check them at the door. I looked in the bag to check what was in there, and then I just left. So it's my own fault if these do turn out to be fakes. So I do think I have a Game Boy Advance game, a real one, which I got in another bundle. So I'll use that as my comparison point for the rest of the games. But straight away, as soon as I looked in the bag, when I did get away, I could tell they weren't the same in terms of the texture of the box, the printing and things like that. So the first thing I noticed was these have sellotape on. In some of them, you can see it just there at the top. There's just a thin strip of sellotape holding the lid on, or on some of them, even the bottom's on. Now, I didn't think they came like that. There's another one on there. I don't know if you can see it. This is on the bottom of the box, not the top. But there is also another strip on the top of it. Maybe these have been added by the owner, so maybe he picked up a bundle of them and to stop them falling out, so they tape them closed, but I don't think that's standard. Right, so let's have a look at a real one that I've got in my collection. So first thing to note, it's not mega shiny like some of the other ones that I showed you earlier. And all the images on the back look pretty crisp, like there's no blurring or anything like that on it. Now on the bottom of the box, it has four like folds to keep it all inside. So it looks like that. Now what I've noticed on some of the other boxes that I picked up today, they don't have that. They have just like a flap, just a straight fold in. Now this is the first time I've seen this type of design on a Game Boy box, because I have a couple of old Game Boy boxes and they have the four folds just like this original Game Boy Advance game that I've got in my collection. So can anyone tell me if there are real Game Boy Advance games with just a square flap, no folds or anything like that? Right, so the next thing we're going to look at is the colour difference. So we've got the good old original, real copy. Compare it to one that I picked up today. Look at the colour difference. The Game Boy Advance logo is purple in what I think to be the fake one, and more blue in the real version. Now, do you get different variants of colour like that? I don't know. And here's another one of the fake ones I picked up today, I think. It doesn't even match my official one at the bottom. It's a different colour than those two as well. So the next thing I want to look at is the inside flap that holds the game. So in my real copy, it looks like this. Comes out all boxed up like that and holds the game pretty well. Now, in some of these games that I picked up today, they look so weird. So this one, for example, it's attached inside the box. I can't get it out, but it literally just looks like a sleeve. It doesn't support or hold the game anywhere. It's just two bits of cardboard stuck straight down the middle with a gap in. So I don't know why they look so different. And now the last issue that I have with them is on my real copy. I have an imprinted number on the cartridge, just one number. So that's number 41 on this cart. Now on another one, from the bundle I picked up today, if you look, you can see two numbers. So you've got 08E4. But everything else on the actual cartridge, to me, I can't see any issues. The Game Boy Advance looks the same in terms of the print on the front. Even the back bits all look legit. I can't see anything wrong with them. It's just the boxes. I've actually just spotted something else. So on this box, you've got licensed by Nintendo. Look how the border is completely red. And then you look at this one and it's a ring. So that is the only game in this whole bundle that I picked up today where that logo is different. Like I said, they all have a solid red border, bar this one. Now look at this. If you see the Game Boy Advance logo on the left-hand side, looks crisp. Now, if you look at this box, it looks blurry. Like it's pixelated. Now, I don't know if I'm imagining it. It's hard to capture in the camera. But the Game Boy Advance, where the tick is, just looks pixelated on this red box, and then go back to the other one, it looks crisp. I think if these are fake, they're really good, and especially in the terms of the cartridges, they're spot on, but the boxes, there's just something off about it. Anyway, guys, give me your thoughts in the comments. Even if you don't know anything about Game Boy Advance boxes, just let me know what you think. Cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.